suddenly sees coming out of the gloom this massive steel fortress, you know, many times larger than them, and her crew goes into action, and they come alongside the vessel, and they start firing with everything they got, and
Wow.
her shells are credited for peppering the superstructure and causing some damage that would be aggravated later from later action, but was a contributing factor that would eventually lead to her loss. But her small arms fire, injured Admiral Avey, and also killed his chief of staff. And then once Laffey cleared away from the ship, it was hit by believed to be hit by a 14-inch projectile. And then other destroyers, Japanese destroyers, attacked her, and that's why what caused Laffey's loss.
Wow.
So, and like I said, Laffey won, was awarded a presidential unit citation for her action that night. And EA would go on to be further damaged and mauled by U.S. ships, and then her steering was jammed, and as daylight arrived, the Japanese ships were fast retreating up north to get out of range of aircraft, because daylight meant the U.S. Navy the U.S. would control the skies and the waters.
Right.
And those that couldn't get underway were scuttled or finished off in side actions, like on our side, the Atlanta was scuttled. Her sister ship Juno was hit by another 1 or 2 torpedoes, which finished her off. Portland finished off the Udachi, which we saw last night. And then EA was kind of harried most of the day by aircraft and all that, and she ended up sinking later in the afternoon.
The more I look at these images of Hiei, the more I want it to be found.
Well, Vulcan found her in one of their surveys here, and her wreck kind of looks very much like what Ballard found with Kirishima. She's upside down, and a good chunk of her forward section missing from probably a magazine explosion as she sank.
Wow.
So
I imagine a lot of this detail was not gonna...
you wouldn't see that, and it's interesting. One of the theories that Ballard has is that normally when a ship capsizes and sinks, before it hits the bottom, as it floods, the ship will right itself. But it didn't happen in those cases, and he thinks that it may have been that tall superstructure may have acted as like a keel that kind of kept it from doing that.
Wow.
Have you seen a sailboat, with the long keel underneath it?
Yeah.
That the superstructure kind of acted like that to prevent the hull from
Completely.
righting itself.
So that's how it ended upside down.
That's the theory.
The theory. Okay. I'm just glad that I understood.
Yeah.
At least the information. All right, for a complete pivot, pilots in the front row, I have a bunch of questions, because this whole time when I see your screens, I see a bunch of numbers and figures. What are we looking at? Can you explain?
So currently in front of my screen right now, on the right hand side here, it shows both Atalanta and Hercules depth, heading, and then as well as altitude. And then we have our winch wire payout and our tension for our winch. And then this red -5 right here is our delta, which is the difference between the depth of Hercules and the depth of Atalanta. And then we also do have some ship information, such as the course over ground, the speed, and then the heading as well. So, and then on the left side of the screen, we can move through what's called our GUI to actually actuate different parts of Hercules as well as Atalanta.
Wow. So you mentioned the Hercules and Atalanta, like the difference in height. How, like what's the maximum that you can go above or below?
So we are connected, the two are connected together by a 30-meter tether.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, the max extremes for either of them would be, 30 meters up or down. It's not ideal to get Hercules much up above Atalanta,
Mm-hmm.
as the tether can get twisted. So our typical configuration is we'll bring Hercules down below Atalanta and turn 180 degrees so that both vehicles are facing in the same direction, and then the tether is also facing in the same direction going aft, and then Hercules will move out in front of Atalanta so Atalanta can keep an eye out on Hercules as well as the tether to make sure that the tether doesn't get snagged or hung up on anything.
Understood. Ooh, a little creature. Tess, do you think that you can show the view of the tether as it is right now so people can get a sense of what that looks like? Only if it's easy.
Yeah, totally. Those bottom two?
Yeah, let's see what it
Yeah,
looks like.
for sure.
And then I have another weird question. So the tether gets, and this is, I assume, the one that's connecting to Atalanta that we kind of see
So you're seeing the tether actually
on the
both
ship.
vehicles. So
Oh.
down here on the lower right is the viewpoint from Atalanta. So you can see that Hercules is lower than Atalanta right now, which is showing us a delta of 11 meters. On the left lower right hand side, that is the view from Hercules. So you can see Atalanta is up above, but we can see with these cameras to make sure that, tether is stretched out. You can view both vehicles, and then the daisy chain and the lift line that are attached to the tether, there's no loose bits of it coming out and potentially creating a snag for either of the vehicles.
Okay. Oh, cool. So that'll be up now if you can all see it. I like the people in the comments are calling them the butt cameras of the tethers.
Yeah, the aft cams or the butt cameras.
There's a guy standing in the next room talking to someone. What's his favorite ship or drink?
I'll go ask him.
That's Megan Cook talking to someone, and I don't know. Megan might be upset that you took her her headset.
Oh yeah, I'll have to confess that I
No.
took it. Here, hold on, y'all. I'll go see if I can get an answer for you.
It's still warm.
About an hour and 18 minutes. So, yeah, I don't know what time is it right now. Okay, so we should turn over right before they get there, more or less. I might come back on if they want to do the Norbit survey. Yeah, I think I probably end up doing it. Well, plus it's around shift change and then lunch. So I might, or you're right, dinner. Time has no meaning. So I might come back up here after dinner, relieve them, and then let maybe Rennie go get the Norbit map processed. So I know you will probably be back up here as well. Yeah. Yeah, the turnover between lunch and dinner here is pretty
Rapid.
yeah, it's shorter than I would like. I don't know. This boat's designed to make me gain weight. You know,
Honestly,
there's like
it's working. I've eaten so much on this ship.
there's like a very long line for the one treadmill we have. and outside of that they just always have snacks.
I know, and they're
You know?
delicious.
Like, I don't know about you, but I only eat really dinner because I'm always busy. Like, breakfast is usually like Greek yogurt and some fruit, like
Yeah.
a banana. And then
And
I have
now-
something real light for lunch and heavy dinner. But now I just eat heavy meals all the time.
They're right
I was
after
going to say,
each
you're
other.
actually awake for breakfast here?
It's bad, yeah, no.
Say, no,
Yeah.
I'm asleep.
We have an answer for the favorite ship and for the person that Megan's talking to.
Oh, Jacob.
That's Jacob. Yeah.
That's the other Jacob.
There's so many Jacobs.
Jacob squared.
Jacob squared. Yeah. But the other Jacob.
Because I'm Jacob.
Because you're Jake. I'm talking to Jacob about Jacob.
I think you'd be J2.
I'm J2, you're right.
J2.
Yeah.
There's already a J1.
Wow. Hey, J2 sounds like a R2-D2.
Anyway, you were saying he had an answer.
I had an answer. You want the ship. The Laffy. Because of the...
We already found that one.
Well, he didn't know that when the question didn't ask. Also, Megan, I have now confessed to Megan that I took her headset and she was not. She was just like, okay. Nonplussed. But she was like, don't I get a favorite shipwreck? And then proceeded to say, no, just Sarah Jacobs. And I was like, I'm going to have to come back. But we'll see if I do. Ooh, okay, this is a really good question. Who has the best at sea story that you've heard aboard Nautilus?
Onboard Nautilus?
Aboard Nautilus, yeah.
Yeah.
Who has the best at sea story that you've heard aboard the Nautilus? I feel like the hams made me laugh harder than I have in a long time from yesterday, but that's because I've only been here a day, so y'all. Also, that Jacob is backroom Jacob. So you're the Jacob, and then there's backroom Jacob this shift.
Backroom Jacob.
Backroom Jacob also has a watch and hides in the corner from you all,
Yeah.
just as Tess does.
I'm dying to know if anyone has a story, though.
I've had some people comment asking me what I guess my tumbler has become visible. And they were asking me what was on it, so I took some pictures. And whoever orders the tumblers for Nautilus, people really like them.
Frank, do you have a fan club just following you around? I'm so confused. I've never had anyone be like, Noelle, what are you up to over there?
I have a lot of friends who are following this. So,
That's amazing.
Aww. That's incredible.
and for the guy on the battleship Texas to say that the Nautilus swag is better than theirs, that's a high compliment.
Wow.
So,
The Nautilus swag is top tier.
I also brought a tumbler from the battleship Texas that they sell it with various camouflage schemes that Texas had in her active service. And they also did one for her marine detachment, which is in marine camouflage. So I brought that one to honor the Marines on Guadalcanal. So I've been taking pictures of me drinking it with Savo Island in the background and all that, and sending it to them. So I know that their swag has made it to the other side of the world.
Here's your pen back, by the way, Noel. It's been a while, but I returned it.
Thank you. From several days ago.
Yeah, but I gave it back.
But he gave it back.
That's technically still borrowing. I can give you a different, this is a G2, this is a better pen.
I want that one.
You can have this
I'm
one.
just kidding. I'll add it to the massive pen bag.
Yeah, I have 2 more in my pocket.
Wow. You just rich in G2 pens?
I am, yeah.
Those are
We have a
pretty
whole
good.
drawer of them downstairs.
Now I know
And they're
where
my
to steal
favorite.
pens.
Yeah, it's labeled pens, so
Super
we don't hide it.
secretive.
I've got some cool questions coming in. Let's see, the
Very many people want merch, Nautilus merch is
Yeah.
highly coveted. But some of us long-term followers, and it's frustrating that it's not really attainable by normal means.
yeah, I
By
feel like
normal
it's
means?
highly coveted here. I only have
Yeah.
2 t-shirts,
2 t-shirts, and I was supposed
I'm
to
out
get a
here a
vest
month.
and didn't.
you know? This vest
all
is
you
the
have?
only reason I can stay in uniform.
Yeah, I really need one. It's been 2 days. I've used 2 shirts. Oh, panic. But there's a
So-
hat, I suppose.
We all wish the merch was more accessible.
We did do a t-shirt fundraiser last year where that was open to the public and people could buy it was like the 15th anniversary t-shirt. These are cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so here's the cool question that I completely lost when I said there was a cool question. How much tether overall does Nautilus have on board, and how deep can the ROV dive? And then kind of a side step to that, is there any redundancy in how the ROVs are attached to the ship, like safety change? What happens when it breaks?
That is a question we don't ask. No, so as far as the 6/8 cable that is attached to Atalanta, so the max depth that we can go is going to be 6,000 meters, since that is what the vehicle is rated to. We have more than that on the winch, so we can go below that, but we need to be able to have a certain amount on the winch in order to keep tension on the storage winch and keep the amount that's on the traction winch there, and basically have the safety wraps on it, and then also allow for a nice layer on the very bottom for the layers to lay back onto the storage winch properly. So, but to answer your question, we have the tether that's attached from Hercules to Atalanta, and then from Atalanta to the 6/8 cable, we have a termination that's on the 6/8 cable that we terminate annually, and then we do that also with the terminations on the tether, and then we load test the termination on the 6/8 cable, and then we basically set the tether terminations, and yeah, as we do all of our due diligence to make sure that everything is set and properly cared for. So.
All right.
We have a special guest that's going to say a few words.
Well, I'm Bob Ballard, and I'm normally on the 4 to 8, and this
we
is
snagged him.
what weight watch is this one?
The 12
You're
to
the
4.
12 to 4.
See, so I came in early because I wanted to talk to you early birds, and we're banging away. Now, what you need to know, not only do we have the Nautilus doing what it's doing, and you're on nautiluslive.org, we have 2 other games in the players in the game, and the one is an autonomous vehicle called Drix, and Drix is literally being operated from the conference room of a hotel ashore called Heritage Park. Think about it. We have people that are operating an autonomous surface vessel, hunting successfully
Amazingly
ahead
so.
of us in our bottom sound. So the strategy was that we already knew where certain wrecks were, and I think we've done all the major ones, all the big ones, and now we're down looking and doing destroyers, but we've already done the major Australian and American heavy cruisers that were lost, and you can go to our website. There's wonderful videos and blogs and a wealth of information to catch up with us. And now we're searching for wrecks that we have never seen, and that's hunting is being done not by us, but by this vehicle called DRIX, the University of New Hampshire, and it's very cool. It's an autonomous surface vessel.
We've been getting a lot of questions about, you know, what wreck would you like to find in all this? Do you have one in particular you would like to come across?
Well, we're still missing a Japanese destroyer.
We were talking about that.
Yeah, and that's been the one we are having trouble. Now, I think you got some new coordinates?
For
or they're about
Ayanami?
to arrive?
For Ayanami?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Haberline sent me some coordinates.
And, and where are they on? Because that's my priority right now.
Yeah, I gave them to Daniel.
All right, but
and
so
then what about Akatsuki?
So our priority, and the question is do we have DRIX get in there ahead of us? So as soon as we get those coordinates, and as soon as I hang up here, I'm going to go down, because we have a command center, another part of the ship, where we're hooked into the DRIX. So we have the Nautilus doing its thing, which is its vehicles. Right now we're moving from the Haven to an unknown site that they found, and we're going to see how it looks. But in the meantime, we also have another ship in the game called the Wildberry, and the Wildberry is specializing in hunting in relatively shallow waters. When I say relatively shallow, it has its own hunting system, and they're good down to 300 feet, something like 100 meters. So we've got systems working in 100 meters. We've got systems working. DRIX can get all the way to the bottom of Iron Bottom Sound, but we can go down to, we have vehicle assets here that go to 6,000 meters. So we have all the tools in the tool chest to cover 98% of the world's oceans, and we're applying all of them at once, which is crazy. I've never done a crazier thing in my life than this one. So, yes. So stay tuned, because we're also trying to image him in a way that's never been imaged before by our team, and that is that we have on Hercules a sonar system called Norbit, and what it does is it can give us the big picture. When you're working in the dark, and we specialize in working in total darkness, you don't see very far with your eyeballs.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You were here in 92.
91 and 92.
91 and 92. And now you're back here again, 30 years later.
Well, I came back also in 2001 to go find PT-109, but we didn't come here. It's down up the slot.
The imagery that we were seeing now, is there anything in particular that pops out at you as dramatic from what you remember back in the first time you were here?
When it comes to alteration?
Yeah.
The Udachi.
Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked by the difference between the two. I mean, they've all changed.
Yeah.
The Quincy bridge is not there. So yes, we've seen definite degradation. Now, in the case of the Quincy, it had cables wrapped in. So
wrapped around. Yeah.
Who did that? Okay, so the point is that what is being done to it naturally, and what is it being done by others? I mean, when I found the Titanic, and I went back years later, most of the damage I saw was done by the people that loved it to death. Yeah. And they landed on the deck, and the salvagers knocked the crow's nest off. So sometimes, and that's why we do not divulge the location of these wrecks, because we don't want people to destroy them. And so well, clearly some of these have been altered. Now was that, I can't believe they were fishing down here at these depths. There's no fish to speak of. So yes, I've seen degradation. So what happened to you, Dachi? Was it natural or not? Now, generally, when you have trawling activities in my work in the Black Sea and the Mediterranean, the trawlers have done significant damage, but that's because they're after fish, and there's nothing down here to catch. So it's sort of sorting that all out. But yeah, the Udachi was quite altered.
I noticed when we came across the wreck last night and began our survey, it took us a while to figure out whether we were at the bow area of the stern, because it had significantly changed from the drawing that Chuck had drawn. And what threw us off was that the forward gun mount had collapsed on the side.
And onto its side.
Yeah.
But my biggest joy so far was finding the plaque that I placed on the gun turret of the Canberra in 1992, and there it was. It's like the plaque I put on the bow of the Titanic, and the bollard up on the bow is still there. This one, though, was covered enough with silt it was hard to read. The one on the Titanic is 12,000 feet. It was just crystal clear to read it. That was fun.
Yeah,
but I had the wrong turret, so we had to look at all the turrets until I got the right turret.
I loved coming across the Laffey's builder plate.
Well, and we just saw the bell.
From
the ship's
haven.
bell. So no, the deep sea is the largest museum on Earth. There's more history in the deep sea than
we all missed the bell, and someone who was listening from Pearl Harbor on the battleship Missouri, a guy named Frank Clay, sent me a text saying, "You didn't see the bell? It was right there on the torpedo tube." So we went back, and once we saw it, it's like, how did we miss that? It was
well, you were distracted by something else, but anyway, so no, we're in full stride right now. We have these three assets in full stride, and I'm quite surprised at how far along the road we are. So stay tuned. But the imagery that we're doing, we're going to eventually do a traveling exhibit where we're doing it in immersive technologies, so that you'll be able to be there like you're a fish. So watch us in the next ship we come to. We'll run our drill of going in with our sonar, creating a three-dimensional map of it, and then using that three-dimensional map to then carefully image it in stereo and then do the immersive. So we have a routine now that we've settled into, and we're playing with the focus of one of the cameras, but we'll solve that one.
You're very right. I mean, we are looking at one of the world's biggest museums.
Well, you figure if you go to the United Nations and not United Nations, excuse me, there's a study they did, but if you go to Google and ask how many shipwrecks are there in the world, the last time I looked, 3 to 4 million. And I find it funny because I get letters from kids and they say, would you stop finding things so there's something left for us? Kids, I've found 55 out of 3 to 4 million, rest assured. And I like to remind young people that their generation will explore more of the oceans than all previous generations combined. You're not a mop-up operation. Your generation will be known as the great ocean explorers because of the technology you're seeing here now is rapidly accelerating. When I dove down to the Titanic, it took me 2.5 hours to get to work in the morning, 2.5 hours to get home. I spent 5 hours in an elevator, spending hours on the bottom. We can spend days and days and days on the bottom. So, all right, I got to sign off. We've got
some of the comments we've been getting from people. Your work is still inspiring young kids today. So,
well, that's what I'm hoping. When my grandmother always had sayings, and one of her sayings was, "Great is the person who plants a tree, knowing they will never sit in its shade." And I'm hoping we're planting a lot of seeds in the minds of young people that will bear fruit long after I've left. So that, to me, I think is my true legacy, is inspiring kids to crack the books, study a little harder, and be able to be the next great explorers, particularly kids like me that are dyslexic, because dyslexics, we have a further evolved right lobe for visualization. I don't want to be as good as non-dyslexics, I want to be better. And I see dyslexia as a great, great gift, because we are the great explorers. All right, with that, I got to figure out what we're going to do ashore. So
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks
For your
Thanks,
time.
Bob. Good plan. Well, what a moment. Thanks, Bob, for joining us there. And we heard that some of the feeds cutting out. We sent it to the right people, so hopefully let us know if that's continuing to be an issue, and we will do our best to try and hop on it, okay? When Bob comes back on, you'll have to ask him what his favorite ship is. I know that's something that people were.
He already told us that.
Oh, he did. What was his
Quincy was one of his favorites.
Oh, Quincy.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you heard. I was off fixing video
No, he
issues.
told us that before you came aboard.
Oh.
He was really looking forward to seeing that one again.
Oh, I'm glad. Well, I wonder if his answer's changed now that we've gone and had an amazing time there. Where were we before Bob came? Oh, we were talking about ROVs and what you're seeing as pilots.
You guys talking to us?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
You were saying.
You were saying before this whole marvelous Bob visit.
Yeah, I think that we had covered kind of the layout as far as the screens, our primary screens that we go through up here. We do have a lot of our sensors that are being read over on the screen to my left. We have maps of where the ship is and the headings of the vehicles and what their positions are, and then Jacob over here is kind of tracking where we go and how we are moving around the wrecks once we do like an orbit survey of it, and just kind of the general plan once we have it. We have our sonars up here on our far right. You can call them radars if you want.
You know, inside I want to.
So and then the rings show us just how far out we have objects from. So the upper left screen is Atalanta's sonar with rings of 20 meters out. The upper right is Hercules' sonar with rings of 10 meters out. And then we have a sweeping sonar that's on the bow of Hercules as well. So
I'm noticing on there that you're seeing something close on like the sweeping one for Hercules. What are we seeing at the bottom there the whole time?
yeah, that's just noise coming from being basically kind of towed backwards.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
When you're actually flying them and they're not being towed as much, are you using the sonar at all, or are you mainly using video feeds to orient yourselves?
As Ben has stated before, we're kind of utilizing everything. So you'll see our gaze kind of bouncing from screen to screen to screen. It's nice having two pilots because, you know, what if you get focused in on one, you have another pilot or even the navigator and stuff that's also watching, can kind of keep an eye on other items. So it's nice having that over the shoulder perspective of Atalanta, but also having that second set of eyes inside the control van as well.
I bet. I would love to put one of those eye tracking software and track where your eyes are looking as you do all this. It'd be fun to see.
Yeah, really kind of depends on what we're doing at that moment. So if we're focusing in on on like say when we're focusing in on the bell, you know, we can kind of pick a screen, but then also utilizing that screen to hold position once we're zoomed in. But yeah, a lot of different camera angles to keep an eye on, but depending upon what you're doing, you scan over some and others you pay more attention to.
Right. I'm excited for the immersive stuff that Bob was talking about. I feel like my dream would be to effectively create what you're doing here, but for people to try and experience it themselves, the closest you can get to the real thing, flying around. It'll also be a great way of training people, if it's any good.
Yeah, I know they're coming out with more and more software and simulators to actually be able to kind of train and ROV pilots and as well as aircraft pilots. But yeah, it's definitely taken a step forward, especially with the VR headsets. So
Yeah. Back home, for me, in the Museum of Science, we are upgrading our immersive room, and so we're about to have, like, we already have spatial audio, but I just put, just to test it out and see what it was like, just a smidge of Hercules and, like, Nautilus footage, and we had, like, a fish projected on the floor, and I felt like I was underwater. I was just, like, completely flummoxed. Like it looked like it was coming to sniff me, and I'm like, that's not what the fish is doing, but it's still, like, so, you know, I was going to say humanizing, but it can't be a human. Still, it felt like you were just interacting with them for real. I want to get the whale experience up in there. I interacted.
the fish coming at you.
Hey, Tess. We've gone through all the pilots. What are you looking at?
I am looking at, well, changes what I look at the satellite feeds. I have my own screen, which I adjust the main Hercules camera on. I have some audio stuff on a computer, like an audio software to create an audio mix, and just a lot of backup recordings and time codes. That's most of what I'm looking at.
I feel like you may not have the most screens, but you have the most things on those screens. So many smaller screens inside smaller screens.
Yes, there are a lot of smaller screens, that is for sure.
My eyes hurt just looking at that.
There's quite a few.
Ooh, good news, it looks like the feed is kind of back to working, so just in time. Hey.
We're moving.
Speaking of, Bob's back in the room. And if anyone's just joining, since we've been in lots of blue water for a while, we're actually in the middle of transiting. We're going to, we were originally looking at the USS De Haven, but we're now transiting to USS Preston, which we're really excited about. We'll have to see if we can find that wreck. People are talking about, you have the master screen, Tess. They're like, she might have the master screen, which has the best quality feed of all.
It's a
Better
big
than all the
screen.
people watching.
It is a very big screen.
A while back, we were talking about the most interesting ship stories that people have. Does anyone have a crazy ship story to share? No ship stories, really? We had some of the most amazing ones, like pork chops.
We've told all our ship stories. You've heard my washing machine stories. You've
There's
heard.
washing machine stories.
I'm not telling them again.
Yes, what?
That's a one-time story.
That's a 2 a.m. type of
Okay, 2 a.m. washing
conversation.
machines. Okay. Well, now I know.
You
Our
had to
next
be
watch.
here for that. You just can't recapture the moment like that.
No,
Oh,
it's the,
yeah, I
the
can't
energy.
ruin it. Okay.
But
You know, if you do your laundry once, you might understand.
I'm about to have to, given...
yeah, good luck. Then you can tell them your washing machine story.
Oh, jeez. I was told that when I get there, I need to just ask for help. That I will struggle.
If you're technologically challenged, you will need help.
Oh, dear. I don't know how technologically challenged I am. I guess we'll find out soon.
We have faith in you.
Well, that's
Yeah.
so sweet. We're going to see if that's...
Let's put this into perspective. This guy picked up the wrong bag. That he said he was looking for one that said lock, and it says Megan.
Okay, just because
just-
my eyes are
Let's
challenged.
just kind of put this into perspective here before we manage our expectations.
It doesn't matter
here.
that the machines are in English.
Okay, in my defense, my partner's name is Megan. And so Megan is something that I'm used to being associated with me.
Okay.
I don't know if that works. Also, I'm
Do
very...
you really expect us to believe that?
I have 3 Megans in my life, and now this is the third. So I work with a Megan, and then I'm partnered with a Megan. So I used to have it be my Megan and our Megan when I was telling stories, and now I have another Megan, and I'm out of ones. I don't know what else to call them. So this has been Boss Megan until I got here, and now it's Megan, but there's other Megans. It's too much.
Your partner might want to be called Boss Megan.
Nah.
Nah.
I feel like my Megan makes it, if I start confusing them, then I'm just going to get even more confused. But tiny shout out to her, because our cat is currently not doing well. So she's been dealing with a cat on her own for like entire day.
But don't cats just like being on their own regardless?
Oh gosh. Yeah, he's been deciding that being on his own and peeing on everything is his new favorite thing.
My brother's old girlfriend used to ask me to watch her cat while he was gone.
Yeah.
And she'd be gone for a month, and she's like, hey, would you mind stopping by in 2 weeks to make sure the cat's alive?
Oh my gosh.
Top off the water and give him some food. And I'm like, 2 weeks? You know, my dog can't take 2 hours.
I don't know if cats can survive 2 weeks like that. It depends on, I guess, the cat and the setup.
It was fine.
Wow.
Honestly, the cat barely said hi to me when I walked in.
A very independent cat. Mine is not. My cat is basically a dog. He needs walks. So
You walk your cat?
my cat requires walks. Yes.
My
Well,
friend
this was
hikes
not
with
my
their
fault.
cat.
He was born an adventure cat, and now he just adventures. Like, he befriends the neighbors. He goes on hikes with us.
Really?
Yeah. That being said, he gets mad when you don't take him out. He'll get bored.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
He wants to be, like, let out.
Yeah.
You know, I've actually heard that cats are very invasive if you just let them out of the house.
Exactly why we need him on a leash.
You know, my dog would just get hit by a car, but the
Yeah.
cat's 100% able to live independently. I don't get it.
Let's put this into perspective. You know, thousands of years ago, cats were treated like gods by the Egyptians. Cats have never forgotten that, nor are they ever going to let us forget that. And let's also look at the fact that, you know, like today where we post stuff on the internet about pictures of our cats. You know, the Egyptians did the same thing on their mosaics and
They did. They
in
had cat
temples.
memes.
So what has really changed in the last few thousand years?
I don't know. But didn't they worship cats or something?
They did.
Yeah.
Cats were considered divine creatures, and they have never forgotten that. At least my two haven't, anyway.
We have a suggestion for Megan, the Megan on the ship, which is Megan of the Sea. I think that works. Is my Megan, our Megan, and Megan of the Sea. About how far are we in terms of time before the...
1 second. We are... let's see, let's put that in meters because we're getting kind of close.
Ooh.
We're about 1,000 meters away. At this speed, it'll be about 42 minutes.
Wow. What's the max speed the ship can go when you're dragging them, or should go?
It's debatable. Usually it's about a knot, although recently, just from like conditions, like weather and current, we haven't been able to go a full knot.
Huh.
You know, it's also orientation. So like if we're, if right now we're almost completely backing up towards the cable, so we don't want that cable to rub on the aft end of the boat. So
you're in reverse, effectively?
yeah.
How do you...
in reverse.
How does one reverse a ship?
Well, we have dynamic propulsion. So we're not using the main props right now, the main engines. We're using like a jet pump and thrusters to move. In this, now we're doing it in reverse, but you can move laterally too.
Side to side?
Yeah.
Do those pivot? Where are they on the ship?
They don't pivot. As far as where they are, I'm not entirely sure. I think they're pretty close to where you would think. Like, I think the thrusters are up towards the bow section.
Right there on your screen, where the jet pump and the bow thruster are.
Oh, is this physically where they are?
I mean, kind of. So the jet pump is on the aft portion of the ship, and the bow thruster is on the bow.
Oh. Which was going to be my guess. So. I got to go back to my sonar screen because I'm not recording anything. If anyone online sees a shipwreck, they should call it out as well.
I'm sure they will. Between the collection of us, there are enough versions of that maybe we'd find it. Especially Tess over there. You'll find it, right?
I will find it.
See, but there's no latitude and longitude marking. So if you noticed it and you were like, oh yeah, look, that's a thing, and then you just waited a while, we'd never know.
Well, I guess that's why they call you the navigator. You got them lat longs.
Yeah.
Sonar.
I'm just trying to navigate through my own life,
And look at you, you're doing both simultaneously. Okay, but I'm still confused. How can you move the ship in any direction without having to pivot the ship? How do you move it sideways?
We have a thruster that's pointing towards the port into the starboard, so it just shoots water out towards the port or starboard, and it moves us laterally.
Are those the same ones that move you forward and backwards?
No. We have a jet pump that moves you forward and backwards.
I finally understand. I was trying to figure out how, it's like if you, like almost like Omni wheels. I don't know if you've seen those where you can like, they have wheels on them, and if you rotate in the same direction, you can go any direction. I'm like, how does that work if you only have two
I don't know.
sources of propulsion?
I've seen tugboats that have like a similar system.
Yeah.
And it's basically like a 360 degrees omnidirectional jet pump that they can rotate in any which way. It's really interesting.
I've seen some Coast Guard ships that are just mind-bogglingly good at maneuvering like that.
Yeah, they're very precise. But obviously we go very slow with the jet pump.
Right. And with things trailing behind. I've heard that calling them robots is a faux pas. Y'all prefer ROVs?
I mean, they're not autonomous. Yeah, so I don't know.
Are robots always autonomous? To me, they're
I guess not. You'd have to ask them.
Okay. Pilots, you're up.
About robots?
Do you get upset if people call ROVs robots?
I mean, I don't particularly take offense to an ROV being called a robot.
Oh, good.
I mean, I call cameras robots as well, so
Ooh.
it's mostly anything electronic is a robot.
Like, trying to figure out the edge case of a robot. To me, robots, because I did like first robotics growing up, right? It was like most of my engineering learning was from that. And like, there are some autonomous moments, but there are also a lot of piloted things. Naturally, when I piloted that, it was, imagine, a lot easier than this.
I don't know, just robot is, your phone's a robot. It knows what's going on.
I like the idea of camera being a robot. I don't know if I don't know. Don't robots have to move?
I mean, depends upon your definition.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm contemplating.
I'm not saying adopt my definition of a robot, but
You know it's been blue water for hours when.
Tess probably takes offense to me calling cameras robots.
I don't have any strong opinions on it, but I probably wouldn't consider them robots, but I don't really care.
Just all robots.
So a comment about our earlier conversation, they're saying that talking about different classes of dynamic positioning on ships and how close they can stay in one spot and how much they can withstand as far as waves and wind and trying to push them out of the way. What's the max that Nautilus can stand?
I think it's 3 knots
3 knots is like its max speed, or
on DP that we can like maintain. I think we can counteract like 3 knots worth of force.
oh, so we're saying like if there's current or the wind and whatever's pushing it, we can
speed gets
counteract
limited
that.
by like external forces. So like on a really calm day with no current and no wind, we could probably go like 3 knots on DP.
What's DP?
The dynamic positioning.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what about in terms of like, if you're talking wave swell or other things, are there limits where?
Yeah, I mean, they all have influence. So like part of what this software is doing is we can measure like wind and we know how fast we're going, and the software is trying to determine, okay, well the rest of it has to be like current and swell. And it can kind of tell where it thinks the current direction's coming from and how fast it's going. So the computer's doing the majority of the thinking in that regard.
Huh.
But we do have things that can measure current direction.
Ooh, how does that done?
We have like an ADCP, so an acoustic Doppler current profiler.
Doppler's back.
Yeah, Doppler is back,
Woo.
which is a sonar that can basically tell current direction and speed at depth, around like 100, 150 meters.
Is it sending sound?
Yeah, it's using acoustics. And then I think we have something similar on... No, I think it's observed for Herc. Herc doesn't have a way to measure current, does it?
To measure current?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So my only comparison for this is like a PETA tube, like on an airplane, where it's like a tiny sliver where air can come in and it's just measuring it in one direction. How would you measure in this case? Do you get direction out of it, or just
with the
magnitude?
ADCP?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get direction and you get speed.
And isn't that in 3 dimensions, like, or just 2?
It's two-dimensional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's limited by depth.
It's limited by depth.
Yeah, so like I can't tell current at Herc's location if it's 1,000 meters down.
Understood. Right. How do you have a sense as pilots of how current changes as you get deeper into the ocean? Like, do you get weather reports for the ocean?
As far as the current, once we get down, we have the ADCP, like Jacob was saying, so that we can kind of see what's happening towards the surface. But in all reality, you know, once we start going down, then we can start feeling what the current is doing by how hard it is to align the vehicles. So if it's really ripping one direction or the other, we can kind of see that with the USBL of the vehicle's position and take that into account.
Wow.
You can get like surface current forecasts that are mostly based off of models, and there's some like floats that are constantly kind of calibrating, but
Some floats?
yeah, like Argo floats, which we deployed on the last expedition. So there's floats, like a network of float systems kind of all over the world that are collecting oceanographic variables.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so those are often used to calibrate different models for different regions or global scale, or kind of all different scales of those models.
How is that information getting back to us?
Satellites.
Satellites.
Yeah, they'll come back to the surface and send information up to a satellite. It'll go back to a data center somewhere in the world that then are used for, scientists, government agencies, you know, in the private sector, kind of a bunch of different use cases for all this different information.
And how is do you know how those get power? Is that from...
The Argo floats, I don't know. I mean, we can look, you can Google that and learn all about them. I'm not an Argo float expert. I don't know if anybody else has deployed those previously.
They're called floats?
Yeah.
Huh.
They physically float
That made sense. That part I got.
at a specific depth.
Okay.
Right, and then they return to the surface at intervals and...
Wait, so they
And
dive
transmit.
at
Correct.
different... Wait, that wasn't clear. So they're going up and down to transmit and then go back down to dive at a certain depth? Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, they're taking physical measurements.
But yeah, that's just one example of like some of the oceanographic data systems. There are other similar types of equipment out there that's kind of transmitting information about what's happening at the surface, but we have much, and even down to like a certain depth profile, but beyond that, we don't really have regularly updated systems for monitoring currents at depth or, you know, across global scales. It's mostly modeled information.
Oh, interesting. So there's the model information, though, is something that you will have.
No, not, I mean, for the surface, like
Oh,
I
I
said.
see, for the
Yeah,
surface.
not
Got
so
it.
much for the depth. It depends. Some places have models, some places don't. Most places don't.
Okay, okay. Wow. Y'all have, I know this, but y'all have so much depth of knowledge. You can just keep going. Oh, don't worry, sorry. I'm excited. We have our next our watch team coming in, so you're going to hear some new voices, and hopefully, because they're going to have some excitement, we're getting pretty close to Preston, so in their watch the next 4 hours after us, you'll be hopefully finding that wreck. I'm very excited to see how that goes. Y'all will have to tell me what you hear from them. Ooh, okay, so some folks are talking about ADCP, how it measures particles in the water and how they move relative to the ship with beams of sound. Epic. And then I think folks are saying that most of the floats are solar powered. I was curious if it was solar or if it could be the kind of like physical motion from the waves or something. Oh, y'all, apparently we've been such a fun watch. We did good. So we're switching over. Ooh, other folks are saying there are a number of moored observatories out there, but really not a whole lot overall. There are some around the US with cameras on them too, and you can pull up the view from them if you want. See, that's really cool. That's similar to what I have with astronomy, where there's a number of observatories and you can see a live view of the observatory and sometimes what they're looking at as well. Pretty epic. So I'll probably start getting a little bit quiet again since we're switching over the watch. Thank you so much for joining us. This was a real epic one. I'm really excited to, can't believe we found the USS De Haven's bell to start us off. And it's got some really cool cinematic photos. Still can't believe we were like 740 meters down in the ocean floor. Such a deep wreck. Well, I mean, I guess that's relative. And it was very cool to see the start of, saw some depth charges, and now doing so much cool discussion on our way to the USS Preston, even a cameo from Bob. So what a good watch. All right, that's us getting to sign off, friends, but we'll be back. Don't worry about the silence. We'll see how the next watch enjoys. They deserve a new wreck. Stay tuned.
Which images? Which images aren't good?
Bridge nav. Good afternoon. When we reach the selected target, we will hold station. Thank you.
All right, so we just had a watch change here, and we're continuing our ROV tow towards the USS Preston, DD 379. And we should arrive at the Preston in about 15 minutes or so with the ROVs, and then we will commence a Norbit high-resolution mapping survey of the wreck. So that yellow swath that you can see in channel 3, that's our Norbit just running as we tow, so that we're able to see things on the seafloor as we're moving between sites. But once we actually get to our wreck site, we do a complete survey of the wreck, and then we'll descend down for a visual survey on the seafloor. So let's start off with some introductions. Hiroshi, do you want to start us off?
Yep. Hello everyone. My name is Hiroshi Ishii. I'm a maritime archaeologist from Japan, and I'm a researcher at the Center of Southeast Asia Study of Kyoto University.
Bill?
Hey y'all, I'm Bill Fallon. I'm an ocean science intern and a data logger. I'll be going to Phototech to get my degree in marine biology this fall. Yeah, stoked to be here.
And my name is May Lubetkin, and I am one of the science managers on the ship and the watch lead for this watch. And yeah, looking forward to the next wreck.
Hi everyone, up in the video engineering seat, I'm Jacob Ottaviani. Really excited and happy to be back on watch, and hopefully we get to see something really, really cool. When I'm not sitting watch here, I am about 15 feet behind me where I have my computer set up editing all of the highlight videos that are coming out, that have been starting to roll out from this expedition, with more great ones to come.
Hi all, Tim Burbank here, sitting co-pilot. Normally on Nautilus I'd be a data engineer, and in a couple days we'll be going back to that. When not here, I'm a grad student at URI, and when I'm not on watch, ideally I'm sleeping. Sometimes I'm also playing with software side projects.
Delta Dan, the Emperor of Patience, coming at you from the Herc chair. When I'm not here, I'm usually down on the South 40 on a motorcycle or a horse, or camping out, or fishing, or doing something like that.
This is Renato Kane in the navigator seat, mapping coordinator on the vessel and sitting here on the 4 to 8 watch, while K2, our other nav mapper, is doing that elsewhere.
Shell waterside project, stealing our mappers.
What is it that Oreo calls you? Papa Navigante? A little something something coming there? Maybe it's just a lump. Just a lump. Ooh.
Good eye though, could be something.
Oh, that's an airplane.
Very well could be.
Yeah, it's
They were
totally an airplane.
I don't know.
Over
it
1,000
like
lost.
Yeah.
No way. Can you see it?
I'm
We gotta
surprised
check
we
it
haven't
out.
found one already.
Motors.
Let's definitely drop a waypoint for this location.
Okay, give me a second.
Also, are you recording data or is it worth screenshotting?
Yeah.
I was exaggerating there. It looked like an airplane, but it's it could be a stick.
It could be a rock, but
80, 90 meters.
I wanted it to be an airplane so bad. We haven't seen an airplane yet.
And Rennie, just so you know, Norbit is going out over satellite 3 right now, so whenever you need me to switch that, just give me a heads up.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
It's okay, Nautilus has a history of wanting things to be airplanes so badly.
Yes, we do. We have a National Geographic special on the subject. It was very interesting and worthwhile watch.
Expedition Amelia, currently streaming on Disney Plus.
Is it streaming on Disney Plus?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, I got on and off right before that one. We looked. We also did look for the Samoan Clipper. Was another Nautilus expedition looking for an airplane.
Those were both about a year before I was hired. I missed those just by a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I found I'm an airplane. Airplane nut, motorcycle nut, car nut, gearhead, I guess, in some cases, if I'm not punching cows. I found the history of it very interesting.
Very interesting, yeah.
Yeah, the early flight between islands. What those planes were doing.
The U.S. Preston is said to have sank by the stern, so the stern went down first. So that means we might be able to see her, big numbers, 379 painted, if there's not too much.
What were the numbers?
379.
379. And they'll be.
There should be on both sides of the bow, and in all the pictures she had them painted pretty big.
All right.
We'll definitely keep a lookout. That would be fantastic if we were able to visual that.
So out of the 1,400 or so airplanes that were tragically lost in this area, do we have any targets? Is there any known targets for them? Sorry, I have airplane brain now.
No, that's a good question. I haven't heard any talk of intentionally visiting the sites of any aircraft lost. I'm honestly surprised we haven't come across any in our in-orbit transits to this point.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of known shallow targets for them, but the deep
Gotcha.
ones, I don't know. I'm not sure. Aside from when Ballard was here in the 90s with the side scan, I don't know what else has been done side scan wise, which would be probably what's necessary to map those at depth.
Why specifically would a side scan sonar be needed to locate something like that?
Well, you need some sort of either towed or like subsea, kind of like what we're doing with Norbit. You'd need to be closer to it because of how small the planes are. So you'd have to be closer to the seafloor in order to resolve it. And side scan just is known for being good at casting shadow. So like you'll see like the plane would stick out really easy.
Oh, understood.
You could also multi-beam it as well with an AUV or with a towed, some sort of towed multi-beam at depth. But
yeah, because side scans are usually looking at a very steep angle. Things sticking up from the seafloor show up a lot. Kind of you can see in the Norbit view to the edges of the swath width, like any relief on the seafloor gets kind of shadowed in the beams and, sticks out very easily. What Norbit gives us that the side scans don't is it can actually see below the vehicle, which is the perpetual struggle with running side scan systems. You can see to the sides very well, you can't see below you.
Oh, hence the name.
Yeah. And with a high enough resolution multi-beam that's towed, or an AUV that's low enough, or in this case an ROV, you can definitely, you could locate them with a multi-beam as well.
The dream would be a fleet of low-cost autonomous ROV AUVs. If you had a fleet or a swarm, kind of like they're doing with the drones. I don't know if you saw any of the pictures of the 4th of July celebrations, but
I don't know if you have, but I've seen similar things.
They're getting just more phenomenal every year.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, there was a minor pause in our.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll see it really.
Yeah, if you could do that underwater and have dozens of them, you could cover this whole area in a short amount of time off a very small local dive boat.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Working on it.
In our field, it feels like we're always pitching that idea, and then we test one of the things that's supposed to be in a swarm and say, oh gosh, this is hard and expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting things underwater, at least from my limited experience around the field, is very difficult.
Well, there's some metrics there. So a lot of the cost-effective drones you can buy nowadays, like a Blue Robotics vehicle, are 3,000 meter rated. Or sorry, 300 meter rated. So you can, you can get away with doing it a lot more cost-effectively at 300 meters.
Yeah. And so at this point, is depth the limiting factor for one of these things? Just being able to withstand the pressure and get things rated to the proper depths?
For the Blue Robotics vehicle?
Just in general, like accessibility to these types of drones you're talking about.
For the low-cost vehicles? Yeah. The challenges of the small vehicles, I've built a couple of them now. I think I'm on my 3rd one, just playing around. like a mate style vehicle. Keeping everything small, so packaging the electronics, they get hot in a small enclosure. The next kind of snack bracket, if you will, is the deep water stuff. So there's, there's not a lot of stuff that's rated for 1,000 meters, for example, and probably, 75% of the coastlines within the exclusive economic zone are not explored and below those, depths. So then the next snack bracket is in the, 6 digits.
Yeah.
Like a Falcon or something like that.
So it's a really big jump in cost from the 1,000 meters to, or the 600 as you said, to 1,000 plus.
Totally. There's a lot of people, modifying blue robotics vehicles, but mostly like me for their own nefarious purposes. But there's not something like a DJI version you can go.
Yeah, they can just get off the shelf and go.
Yeah. So when you get down in the 1,000 meter range, if you do the math, you're quickly going from the realm of plastics and 3D printed stuff to aluminum.
Yeah.
And so then you need, a machine shop, and you need specialized connectors. And you're paying for a connector that's rated to 4,000 meters. So
even
you
though
might
you
as
only
well.
need it for the one, yeah.
Yeah, so what happens is, well, if we're going to do that, spend the money, we might as well make it 4,000 meters.
In which case, every part needs to be rated for that 4,000.
Yeah, but then it gets bigger and heavier, so you need a bigger winch. You need more cable, which is very expensive. One of the significant cost factors. And you need a bigger boat, and the whole economy of scale thing.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I wonder how long it'll be before those sorts of technologies, kind of the price point comes down to where it's more of a possibility.
It's I've been following it over the years, and it's happening pretty rapidly now.
Yeah.
So for quite a while, the only thing was the blue robotics vehicle. Everything else was kind of this, like the Seabotics stuff. I guess the Seabotics is one of the ones, the next snack bracket up. They were like started out in the 5-digit range.
And these are just like consumer available.
Yeah.
products?
So the Seabotics are out of most consumer available. That's people like trying to make a living with them, like doing holes or doing science or search and rescue or inspections on piers and bridges and dams and stuff like that. So that's what that market is geared for, quasi-commercial or prosumer, I guess. But yeah, now there's probably 6 people that are kind of somewhere between Seabotics and blue robotics. I don't think it'll be long. It's kind of exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the recent years with the technology and the miniaturization of electronics and new materials.
I know we saw the same thing happen with aerial drones. It went from kind of a really cost prohibitive thing that was almost experimental to now. I bought my cousin's $20 drones for Christmas that can fly and hold their own. They're not, they're not anything crazy, but you can play with them and connect it to your phone and fly them around.
Yeah, I bought my father-in-law one. He was blessed with it. And yeah, it looks very similar to a DJI drone, but it's literally 1/10 of the cost.
Yeah.
But you look at the drone industry, so the same thing's happening with the subsea drones that happened in the aerial drones. I remember years ago building drones. You built the flame wheel, and you put, you had your flight controller and all your discrete motors, and the thing looked like some Frankenstein with wires and batteries hanging out of it, GPS antenna sticking up, and you spent a week building it, and you took it out, and it promptly flew away. And and I have a couple DJI drones that fly around the farm, and Like my kids can get them out, or the wife can get it out. You know, turn it on, hook up their iPhone, and hit go literally.
And it just goes, yeah.
Find the cows and see if they got any new babies, or just find the leak in the irrigation system or whatever.
All right, that's the ship stopped on target.
All right.
So we're going to be swinging.
Swinging.
Ready to swing.
Sounds good. All right. Can you log rec site?
Rennie, do you want me to take Norbit off of satellite stream?
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Of course.
Let me just tidy that up then.
I'll let you know as soon as it's off.
So are we going to start off with an orbit scan or just visual survey?
We're going to start out with an orbit.
All
right, you're clear.
Awesome, thank you.
You can click in your auto heading, Tim, anytime.
Auto head on.
All right. I shall do the same, so we don't get wrapped around.
Is that a rough scan or like the full box?
We're going to do the full one, yeah.
All right.
My altitude's still...
Looks like it's already been...
Did anybody see that?
I saw that too.
That was,
yeah.
If all the navigation was
you guys took it before us.
Yes.
Yeah, it was...
Phantom Norbit.
Yeah,
what the?
That was pretty good.
It was a whole Phantom ship.
Why do they do that? Come down, Tim.
Take a second here.
Down on the winch.
Hey, Rennie, just let us know when you start recording, okay?
Altitude's a bit messy. I think I'm closer to 10-15 above you, but if it stays consistent.
You're 20 above me. Mike had auto altitude on. I didn't catch it. He told me that, but...
Have we been able to fix the streaming issues at all?
Oh, yep, you went deeper, I see.
I know they're working on it.
50 anyways for Rennie, so...
Yeah, we have an alert out to our data engineers about the issues with the feeds, so hopefully it is being worked on and will be resolved hopefully in the next couple of minutes.
I'm just going to restart everything because it's not behaving.
Roger.
It behaves until you need it to do something and then it doesn't, so then you have to restart it all.
You changed over to DVL again?
We will need that shortly.
I've seen it misbehave a few times while it's on USBL.
Yeah, but it wasn't doing that a moment ago, so I don't...
Yeah. No, but it does it randomly.
You're right, yeah, so... Alright, I'll start there. I'll do that. Dead wreck. You got beams yet?
Yeah, we do. But we were up there pretty high, and it might have been...
It's usually when I reset the navigation, which is... And this thing's been running for a while, so I gotta restart it probably, because it's not letting me do anything.
Yeah, it's like that boggy.
Let me take the dehaven out, actually.
It might have some legacy overlays in there.
Yeah. Where is it? Why? Might have to restart this program as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. It's gonna take me a minute.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I have to restart nav G.
I don't mind.
Okay. And then it takes a bit of setup.
Going on Delta, are you coming down still, Tim?
I'm not coming down, we'll follow you.
Come down a little faster.
Down faster. Got distracted by
25.
Seeing if I'm getting hotel data.
Yeah, well,
You okay with me restarting Hotel West?
Sure. You come down at 25 if you want.
Down at 25, copy.
May?
Yes.
Since we don't have any good, can't find any good photos for the Preston, we have some of the Cushing, which is a Mahan class destroyer. And while, you know, we know the destroyers like to mix things up a little bit, we could use this as a, like a basis to go off of. Can we print that from up here? Or
Yeah. Yeah, do you know the kind of like specific differences between the two?
I don't, but I figure we can compare it to this photo, and if there's anything major.
Yeah. I mean, one thing we could do is just, so, I mean, this works for this orientation, and then for the center line orientation, we could just sort of draw one.
All right.
But if you prefer to, like, for example, those lifeboats on the side of this one, like, those aren't here.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then,
that's back. Now let me do the Norbit.
I don't know.
Yes, we have this one too, which is all right.
Yeah.
Not the best quality, but it'll work.
Let's take. I'm gonna steal. I printed 2 of them. I'm gonna give you one of them, and then one of these.
Sorry, I lost the plot that time.
2 of those.
Yep. This is the Preston, yeah?
Yeah, the Preston
Okay.
379, DD 379. If you prefer to have that printed, we can definitely do it.
Yeah, can we do that? Just
absolutely.
maybe if I don't use it, just at least to have it.
Yeah, definitely. So, just download it, or yeah, you can print from there.
There it is.
For all of our viewers online, sorry about the satellite issues. We are definitely well aware of them and working hard to get our channels running again.
Hercules out, altitude 15 meters.
Roger. That's a little too low. Sorry, texting and driving. Just yelling at the crew for unnecessary wear and tear on the vertical thrusters. Hours and hours of towing with autos on. It's just, there's no reason to do that. It's pure laziness, but it's like not going anywhere. And actually got me in trouble because I forgot that it was on and we have changing depth, so.
It's true, no auto altitude on Atalanta. Well,
yeah.
On a good day, there's an auto altitude. Its name is Tim. It sits over here.
Let's come back up to 50, Tim.
Back up to 50, roger.
Yeah, you'll have to come up to 65, sorry.
Jacob, you can broadcast that again.
Fantastic, thank you.
Our
Going back
thrusters
out on
are,
sat 3.
they're all 25 years old, and they've been rebuilt many times and have actually many new parts on them. I think the only thing original probably left is the shroud and the mount, but they have a finite amount of hours before they have to be rebuilt.
Okay, the wreck target is right here.
Roger. If we're, doing
Perfect.
hours and hours of tow. We worked the verts really hard on launch and recovery and transit, so I'm working them for hours and hours.
I'm not used to the Nautilus way of documents.
No worries.
May, I'm gonna start recording.
Okay.
There we go, there's a wreck.
All right, Norbit, recording start for the Preston.
You can probably do the 30-meter side pass from about here if you wanted.
Wait, which one is it?
We're starting a midship, so I might as well do the center.
It's the blueprint.
Okay.
But if you drive straight over it like this, that'd be great. Gets a bit of extra data.
Look to the south for me, Tim.
So Preston got hit by
Looking south.
at least 5 shells, 6-inch shells, and they toppled one of her stacks, the aft one, and set her torpedoes on fire, which caused a secondary explosion.
Counterclockwise. Oh yeah, that's the direction that south is.
Yeah. But I'll take the top view too. No,
looks good.
It's not. Yeah.
Our work here is done.
What's that angle?
Okay, which end would we like to start at? Let me
come down under Atalanta.
Going on Atalanta.
No, I'm going to come down and get underneath you.
Roger.
Yeah, okay, so we'll start at this end, which looks bow-like.
What was that?
Oh. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, and I guess we do have these. So yeah, I guess just the top down. No, it's fine. Top, yeah, it makes more sense. And which printer do you want me to go get that from?
That's correct.
Alrighty.
Dan, I might need to move
let me check.
Atalanta towards you to get all that we need. It's okay.
I'll keep facing away.
You can hold there.
But I am getting dragged. Come down. Dan, I can't hear you on comms also.
Roger, sorry. Yeah, you can come down. Come down till it hurts.
All right, so I won't move Atalanta. I'll just move it along with us once we get that sorted.
Roger. I'm going to slide to the right.
So. Roger. He knows the drill already. Okay. It's probably a little bit too far, yeah.
Sorry, I was pushing buttons.
It's all right. We'll also have to come back a little bit too.
Roger.
That thing on the left looks kind of like a crater. You know, is it a...
Yeah, we saw one coming in as well. But it's just some kind of scour, I don't really know why. Yeah, whatever back you can get while Atalanta's there is great. But that's good, we're clear of the bow now, so. And then...
Hiroshi,
maybe
you think those things, if they weren't just geographical forms, do you think they could have been for maybe depth charges?
On the left?
Should have enough to come around, spin around and look at me if you want to.
Copy that, looking to you.
Take that half turn out for me if you...
Because I feel like, I don't know what else would explode underwater away from a ship. Yeah. And I'm also not, I don't feel like depth charges would be set to that deep because...
Do some measuring here real quick.
Usually they explode above or next to, and hitting the ground is unusual for them.
So just while they're getting the Norbit survey set up, we'll let them focus.
We'll go 90 meters.
Then we can get back into conversation.
What's your heading?
22. The set point heading is 21.5.
Okay.
All right, Herc in view.
All right.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll be 21.
Tell him.
Ready?
You know what Dr. Ballard's going to say, right?
What's our
Turn off those Atalanta lights. I don't want to see them. You can turn them off. Get some glory shots of Herc and blue water.
We can see for now.
Actually, let's try this. Tim was suggesting we do this the other day. See if I can turn my port and starboard on. What light? Oh, yeah. There. Ooh.
Okay, you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, we're gonna go...
How many meters would you like?
Just put in 100, we might stop you at 90, but... and
For
then I'm gonna move the ship only 90.
Stream 1, the cameras are fine, the pilots just turned off the lights to get some really stellar imagery of Hercules from the Atlantic perspective. So it is dark, but it will be light again as soon as the lights are back on.
And we are aware that the channel feeds are also not working completely correctly, and we are working on that, so bear with us.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, you step, and then I'll call in the move after you pass Atalanta.
Are we ready in the back row?
We're ready.
So engage.
Earlier, you were still recording earlier, Rennie, right?
I was recording, but this is the start of the survey.
Okay.
Proper.
Also, Dan, you'll probably want to turn on your lights at some point. YouTube gets unhappy with us if we stream block for too long.
Yeah, you can come up a few meters for me.
Coming up to plus 14.
Yeah, as you pass under, you'll probably have to do that.
Coming up to plus 14 and or above the tether. That's a fun set of lights on Herc.
Let's say I think that's a nicer
that's
shot.
the mid-light. So we took 2 of the mid-lights. Well, we left them on there and we dummied them off, and we put 2 under the porch. Yeah, this is our first pass. We're going to be here for a while. That's up to Papa Navigante over there. How many passes we do?
Yeah, probably 3.
3. He's saying 3.
3 passes.
Also, low pack on PC3 confirmed, and Jake, there should be no sensitive data on that screen in case that matters to you.
I appreciate that, as long as that lets me use the rear cameras without worry, so thank you. I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, let's put that one up there. Did you put it on PC3, Tim?
PC3 confirmed.
Roger.
Strategic view.
Have you seen this yet? This is, Tim can tell you about it more than I can, but all I know is it's Tim's pet project and it's really cool. Yeah, he's stealing data from all over the ship and displaying it in a web page. He's borrowing data from, so his latest is to put the Norbit in. And I've been promised velocity arrows on Herc. But once, no, we're actively painting. Alexa, I have auto XY, so I punched in a move. The DVL's driving to be technically correct, or the computer.
Bridge nav. Can we step 90 meters bearing 021? Thank you.
So we're thinking. Come a long way in 30 years, hasn't it? We were thinking of creating a large language model or an AI for Nautilus, and we were going to call it Homer with a nod to the gods, but we could also use, yeah, but Hal's already been taken. I could call it Hal.
Are you stealing my idea?
Huh?
Are you stealing my idea?
Yeah, Jacob came up with the name, so. But we would use the voice of Homer Simpson.
I was suggesting that we move away from Greek, ancient Greek names.
Well, it would be just a nod to the Greeks. And you could say we named it after the Simpsons. So.
I recommend Squidworm.
I like that.
Thus satisfying multi-generations and political incorrectness.
Ship's moving, and Atalanta should be soon.
Roger.
Roger. Coming down a little as you pass. We'll go. Actually, we'll hold there. We're about tether height. We'll come down if you get away from me.
This is a good delta for within 10 meters. As long as you don't see Herc porpoising, which you see by those big long blue bars when you can get a glimpse at them. You can see the one actually that's on the wreck. So if it's porpoising at all, that blue, what do you call that?
The
That thing?
axis.
Axis, thank you.
Oh gosh, yeah, axis starts swinging.
Yeah, it starts, because such a huge moment there, 50-meter moment.
Should be moving along with you, same pace now.
I'm 24 to go. I'm going to have to add another step. No, 60 to go.
It's a combination of the two, I think.
Yeah, I can't do that math in my head.
It's the same with the ADCP. It's like the north and east, and you're like, all right, well, who can read this?
Yeah, the shilling vehicles, it took a couple laps to get that user-friendly. And in the end, you could go one way or the other. You could do a range of bearing or course and speed or plunk in a waypoint. Same with the green sea. You would like green sea, Rennie. You just literally drop nav points on the screen with your mouse, and then you can right-click on them and edit them if you want to move them.
Yeah.
So you could, like I could take the screen like this, and I could click a waypoint at each end, just like I can on my drone, right? I pull up a map, I click on the screen, waypoint here, waypoint here, waypoint here, waypoint here, and hit go.
Drive to them. This structure in the center is interesting. See how much it's actually overhanging, or if there's something caught on it, or if it's just not real data. But
yeah, so what were the questions that you were asking earlier, Bill, about this wreck?
I was about the thing next to it. It looks like a crater. Wondering if it's geological or if it's like, you know, an actual crater from an explosion of some sort. And I was considering the possibility of a depth charge, but that's the only thing I can really think of that would be exploding underwater apart from something inside of a ship, like ammo or a torpedo. But I feel like if it was a depth charge, it wouldn't be so deep.
just to let you know, we're not quite making 0.3 for some reason. It's like stunted, so we're only making about 0.2.
Roger.
So we'll just keep an eye on speed.
I'm set at 0.1.
Roger.
So I never even looked at it, to be honest. I just pressed the button.
Look at that. It coincidentally is going to work out.
There was a Japanese sub.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it could potentially be geologic, just looking at kind of the layers on the other side. Like there could be kind of a sloping feature here, but I'm not really convinced that there's not really enough information to tell. Maybe when we're on the seafloor we'll see a little bit more. But it does look quite rounded.
Rennie could measure.
I mean, there was a
how deep it
Japanese sub.
Or we could give you a visual of it.
We don't know where it is. Maybe it's right on the other side.
True.
Look at there's some interesting stuff on the other side as well.
Yeah, it looks like.
Oh yeah, that's a cool view.
Even in low pack, you can kind of see like these slide marks.
The edge, so not really sure.
Oh, that's noise.
Yeah, I mean it's probably something. When we came in, it seemed like it was a little rocky over there anyway.
Yeah.
But and there was another depression over here coming in, what we picked up on Norbit as well. Yeah, this is interesting to me. Just the fact that it's overhanging.
Yeah.
Could be the mast.
It'd be interesting when we do the side pass to see if it picks up a wall on it. So we'll have to do that side first. Satisfy our curiosity.
Slightly closer to it anyway. Why not? We can do whatever we want to do.
I love the 3D Herc trail. You can see all my embarrassing.
Oh yeah,
Oops, I
the
went too deep,
vector
almost hit
arrows.
the seabed, and I'll come back up,
Oh,
fly
yeah.
around in a circle.
Yeah, you're getting too deep near a wreck.
Yeah, good thing
Right here.
Tim saved me. I would have smashed into the wreck.
There it is.
Yeah, captured forever.
I mean, I caught it maybe 20 meters after I should have, so.
Oh, I was in, that's the, you know.
Glass house.
Classic, that's the danger of me doing this thing, is that I also didn't have eyes on everything.
Well, that's why there's 3 of us up here. Takes a village.
It takes actually 3 people. Because
despite what I think, I'm not perfect.
An apple, an orange, and a banana.
Apple, orange, and a banana.
Speaking of, I was asleep during most of the last visual surveys, but in our notebook diagram of the Dehaven, they have, quote, death banana labeled about 3/4 of the way.
What does it
to
say?
the south. Death banana.
Oh, maybe it was a davit.
Oh.
That feels right.
Yeah.
The whole apple, orange, and banana thing has made its way completely around the vessel within 24 hours.
I really regret that analogy. That was my sleepy brain trying to explain that 3 cameras
well,
functionalities are different.
Both of us, man.
Just so everyone,
you did the apple. I just added the banana. Yeah. That's right.
Just so everyone watching along is aware, we know there are currently some issues with our satellite feeds. That is one of the challenges of broadcasting from the bottom of the ocean in such a distant place in the world. We have a couple of different systems, both on shore and on the ship, that alert the right people to start trying to work on that. So there is a very active effort at the moment to try to fix the streams and get the quality up to what it usually is. So thanks everyone for being as patient as they have been, and with any luck they'll be up quickly, but just know that it is very actively being addressed both on the ship and on shore.
So Elon, if you're watching or listening, we could use